We had experienced an amazing journey in India. So much had happened of which we will never forget, and now
we've started our 20-hour journey into Kathmandu, Nepal.
We knew that the journey would take a long time, but unfortunately we got off to a very slow start. When travelling in a developing country, we learn to expect the unexpected. We find out how long the journey will take, then in our minds we consider that time to be doubled, and we can always be sure that we will arrive much later than had been planned. The adventure does not always happen on arrival. Many times the travel is the adventure. Well, last night we left the largest democracy in the world. We crossed over the border into Nepal. It was very easy, a bit of hard cash, a little bit of time. We were one of the first of our team who went over. Unfortunately, they got this hotel as a part of our package, so we had this really nice sleep when we were expected to spend all night on this coach. And today we've been travelling all the way through Nepal, and it's amazing. There's just stop points everywhere, and it may just be like an old oil tin put in the road, several of them, and like they're trying to do dodgems getting around them, or just a few big logs or something on the road. The easiest way to get into Nepal is by plane, and most people take that comfortable option. But our plan was to travel as much as possible overland in Asia. That way we would feel every mile go by, and there is nothing like watching one country blend into another. Some border crossings take only a few minutes to pass. Others are chaotic and can take several hours. The crossing into Nepal was easy, but the journey into the capital was going to be full of unknowns. I knew that God had specifically called us to visit Nepal, and I was expecting great things like I had seen in many other countries. And I believed that in this nation we would see the supernatural, outstretched hand of God's providence. It was exciting, and we had been praying for many months, believing that God would do wonderful things. The Bible says in Hebrews 11 that without faith it is impossible to please God. And so by faith we must choose to believe that He is, and that He is a rewarder of those who diligently seek Him. We had been seeking His will and expecting that He would reward us according to His word. It was the great British missionary William Carey who said, "Expect great things from God, attempt great things for God." And that was exactly how we felt.
There seems to be some severe traffic congestion. We just seem to be starting and stopping. We literally haven't gone anywhere in the past hour or so.
So we don't know, anything could have happened. It could have been a landslide, an accident, or this could be just the build-up of one of these government safety check areas. But certainly people are all walking now because there's just nothing happening. Otherwise you're sat in that hot bus, you're getting hotter and hotter. I think we've located the problem now. This stretch of road here is seriously damaged, and so you have to go across it really slow. Of course, you've got to go so slow, all the places are building up, and there might be even worse down there. Somebody said there was an accident, but I don't know, until we get near there we wouldn't know. But this is a serious problem.
This whole area is collapsed, and behind me you can see part of the retaining wall, which has probably dropped just about 30 foot, and probably a landslide as it's the monsoon season. That's nice.
All the vehicles that are going this way are completely stuck because there's so many coming this way that they've actually jammed the pathway so they can't even begin, and it goes so far back. I mean, I'm really glad we're not going this way. They've got no chance of going for hours now. And we're barely going. The tracks here, because so many cars and that have gone through, they're really deep. You can see this one behind me, it's not our one. It's really struggling amazing. And this little cub tried to go over it. Man, he put his full energy into it. Fortunately, he made it. I hope it's nothing bigger than that though for him, because he ain't gonna make it. We decided we'll get outside when we go over these ones, because it really does mess up the suspension, because the suspension is so good for these rough roads. When it actually gets on, it drops so much. This was our second full day of travel by coach, and we were looking forward to reaching our destination. Well, the sun's going down now, slowly. It's almost 6 o'clock, and we're still stuck in this humongous traffic jam. And the guy said there's probably another 15 kilometers going on just like it. And then after that, how many was it after it? 10? 20 kilometers of government checkpoints on decent roads. So he said we might not even get into Kathmandu tonight. We may not get there, so we'll have to see what happens. I tell you, this is hard graft coming out, because when it was hot, the sun's beating in on those buses, and now, sort of, you're not sure what to do. So we're just walking in front of them. Otherwise, you end up getting in and out of them all the time. You get into the bus, you sit down, because it's moving. It moves for about 30 seconds and stops again. So we're walking on ahead to save that. Pretty low on water as well.
We got at least 15 kilometers to go on roads just like this. The guy on the bus said after that it's another 20 kilometers of literally roadblocks before we get to Kathmandu, the capital. And because there's a curfew at 11 o'clock, he says no probability we might not even make it tonight. It's very hot, the sun is setting, and we're very low on water.
Okay, so what's happening? Well, not much.
We're in a 3-lane log jam here. We're basically reversing down the mountain. There's people tapping either side. There's a big drop to the right. Well, not a big drop, but if the wheels go in, you ain't getting out of it. So yeah, it's a bit of a mishap at the moment. It's way gone midnight. Of course, nobody's told us what's going on, but you can just sort of see a lot of people shouting, a lot of people banging on the side of the coach. Obviously different ones in this coach getting a little bit frustrated and stressed out. Different ones who are trying to sleep. Bear in mind we've been on the road since
8.
Yeah, since 8 this morning. Now it's gone midnight, so it's very tiring. But, we'll get there in the end.
Yeah, it's difficult to know what's going on. And this guy came on the coach. We're outside a second ago, and we're just like shouting, "Shut up in there!" So that's not very nice of him. What do you think? What is this? Is this the checkpoint, or is this some bad guerrilla guys or something? But we're trying to get ourselves out of this jam where we've been facing off on somebody else, and we're just pulling back into the correct lane so this other one can get through. But we don't know whether we're spending the night here